Hello everyone and welcome back to Southern Wealth. I hope you guys are doing very well. If you do enjoy the content, please consider dropping that like and subscribe. So thank you very much for your support. So today we had finally a little bit of a green day. A lot of people are talking about the blood moon. Well, ended up nothing happening materially so far. I mean, blood moon was yesterday evening, so I guess we're technically out of it. We've seen some recovery finally in the stock market as well as the crypto market in general. However, I wanted to point out about something. I've noticed some people getting upset at the rate of recovery, particularly when it comes to some meme coins. You need to understand something. We've just got through a big correction and scare, which means certain coins need to move first for confidence to step into the market. So for example, coins like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana will need to move first. And if you want to look at the meme coins in particular, Pepe, Dogecoin, etc., need to take the lead first. And then as confidence builds up, people will come back to the other coins. Now, as we've discussed here before, and this is valid for all the risk assets, when Trump was elected back in November, but also already coming from October, there was massive tightening of financial conditions where the dollar spiked up close to 110 and yields spiked up, which means bonds came down. TLT, I think, reached 83, 84. So like really, really bad. Now, we know that there's usually a 60 to 70 day lag between the financial conditions and the action in the asset prices. So you fast forward 60, 70 days, the worst of the tightening should have been happening, as it did, somewhere around February to mid-March. Then we feed in the narrative. Oh, it's because of tariffs creating uncertainty. Oh, it's because of what Trump said there. Oh, it's because of this. Oh, it's because of that. Now we try to find narratives to justify the reason why the risk assets came down. And I'm not saying it doesn't have any impact, don't get me wrong. It does have an impact, but there was something already programmed to happen. We just don't know what's going to be the reason why people are going to say it's happening. So, what happened in January and February and March? Financial conditions reversed completely and eased massively. Where do you see that? Dollar came down from 110 to 103. TLT went from 84 to above 90, which means yields came down. Now that's very positive. But it takes time, once again, takes 60 to 70 days to show its face, which means the recovery should be happening, probably started today, and should continue for between now and June. Now, I'm already need to say, can the correction go for another week? Yes. Are we gonna have only green weeks from now to June? No. Most likely not. That's not what it means. It means now the liquidity is picking up quite aggressive, and actually global M2 is already above November levels, where we hit the maximum global M2, late October. So we are already above that, which is good. And liquidity is just ramping up. Why? China has announced massive stimulus. Germany just got approved their spending package, which is crazy. It's massive. I mean, it's crazy not in the bad sense. It's crazy the size of it. We're seeing all central banks across the planet cutting rates. Canada just cut rates this week. Bank of England, ECB, Bank of Korea, all of them, South Korea, all of them have been increasing liquidity, and the US is still doing it via deficit spending. Now, people put a lot of fault in Trump. You need to understand something. The more time it goes by, the more the interest on the debt is going to be. At current rates, By January 2026, 1 year after Trump being elected, interest expense will not be the number 3 item of the budget as it is today. It's going to be number 1. So the US is going to be paying more interest than what it pays in Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, and defense spending. Get that in your head. And for that, there's only 2 options. 1, rates come down aggressively. Good for risk assets. Liquidity steps into the market. Or massive deficit spending by Treasury. Good. More liquidity comes into the market. Or combination of the both. Good. More liquidity comes into the market. So there's no scenario here, in my view, in which liquidity will be coming down from here. Now you can have periods, of course, you can have a month of liquidity contraction, you can have, everything is possible. What I'm saying is the overall trend is now up. I think in a couple of weeks to a month, we're going to be laughing all of us together about the ones talking about bear markets and giving it 50% probability and all of this kind of stuff. Think people that have said that on Twitter and on YouTube, and then revisit the videos that I made explaining step by step why, in my opinion, it's just a simple correction. If I'm wrong, come back, destroy me in the comment section. So I take it and I dish it both ways. Now, we are seeing a lot of positive underlying developments. We've just now heard that apparently Russia has been using crypto to arrange for payments of oil and gas. Now, I'm not making value judgments here. I'm saying it's positive for crypto because crypto is neutral money. It doesn't care. It owes allegiance to no one. That's my point, okay? So no, I'm not here saying I'm in favor of this or that. I'm just stating what's happening. More banks are going for approval in crypto custody and trading. Now, you guys know, not your keys, not your coins. I've told you this before. What I'm trying to say are fundamentals that are bringing crypto to the spotlight. Today, Peter Schiff issued a challenge to Michael Saylor, saying that gold is the apex predator and Bitcoin will fall. And I was looking at it as gold crossed $3,000. I'm like, oh my God. This tweet, I think, in a few months is going to be the most amazing tweet out there. And I really hope that people took a print screen of that. Because we're gonna destroy him. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I will never let him forget what he said. Because I think he chose the worst possible time to make a tweet like that. But we'll see. We'll see. There's been these massive imports of gold to the US. I get the feeling there is some people trying to hide what actually was in Fort Knox in terms of gold, because there's this lingering fear that Doge will audit the gold reserves. And then, as soon as that happens, you have these massive imports of gold coming into the country. Very interesting. Now, CPI and PPI both beat expectations, which is good. There's a website called trueflation.com in which it gives, in my view, a better idea of the real inflation going on. And actually, the real today inflation in the US is around 1.4%. Because don't forget, the government looks at backward data, so data that comes from the past, and so basically it's always looking to the past instead of the current moment. But Trueflation looks at the current moment, and if you look at it historically, there's a lag of about 45 days between the CPI reporting and the Trueflation metrics, which means not next month, but the month after, we should see the first reading below 2%. I mean, eggs is the worst item, is coming down like a stone. Gas prices are the cheapest in 4 years. Oil is coming down. Natural gas is coming down. Most commodities are coming down. So will we see CPI below 2% in the next 2 or 3 months? it's anybody's guess. What's true is that they also show India's CPI, Trueflation shows India's CPI, and they were showing that the India CPI was lower than people thought. And indeed, this week, India's CPI came out and it was below 4%, was 3.7%, which is even below the central bank target. And it was completely surprising. Like, people thought it was well north of 4%. So just for you to have an idea that these surprises can start happening. Then I think what we're all expecting is a peaceful resolution to the conflicts that are happening over the planet. Forget about parties, forget about who's right, who's wrong. The reality is that 2,000 plus people, young people, are leaving this world every week. And, people are always very happy for these conflicts to last as long as their families are not fighting. Of course, as usual, right? When you're sitting behind a desk like this, in the comfort of your own home, everything is very easy to say. But if you're in that field, I think you view things very differently. Just my personal opinion. So, next couple of weeks, I do expect to start to see some recovery, some choppiness. BlackRock is back to buying Bitcoin as well. We caught up with the fall in global liquidity. It's very clear in the chart. So now we should be tracking the global liquidity on the upside. Is it hope and cope? Yes, of course it's hope and cope. But the people who make it in crypto are the biggest hopers and copers on this planet. And with that, let's keep it short for today. Thank you very much for your support. Enjoy your weekend wherever you are. Don't forget, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.